Anti-Stalker Nation. This is a special video blog post just for you to show you that I'm still alive and that I'm okay. I know you've been very worried about me, and so I thought it was appropriate to make this video for you so you could see me. And it's probably the only video blog you're ever going to get, so I hope you cherish it. So this special address is just because I know you've been worried about me. And in the past few months, you've seen me personally invaded maliciously by stalkers who seek to control my income by controlling my roommate status, controlling my phones, my car, controlling my payments to my creditors, and even controlling my court pleadings. You have bared witness, Anti-Stalker Nation, to the brutal attack that was a premeditated terrorizing. And in that, you have seen me hold my ground and stand my ground against a bunch of corrupt, unjust San Diego police employees who have sought revenge and retaliation against me for reporting their past crimes they engaged in against me on behalf of their crime ring, which includes SDPD, systematic aiding and abetting of rapists. I have heard the audio recordings, and so have you, the evidence that the SDPD IHTs engaged in a vicious home invasion with the woman who assaulted me. Yes, you have heard that the SDPD was videotaping their home invasion of me, where they tore my home from its hinges, when a simple locksmith would have been the non-sociopathic remedy. Yes, you have seen the dirty SDPD IHTs videotape their abusing of me for their crime ring snuff film endeavors that they make a lot of money off of. And you have heard the assaulters engage in playing satanic music at my door when they unlawfully imprisoned me in my room for hours after attacking me and my home systematically for about 3 days straight. And you heard how the Escala community of criminals invaded my home to aid in vicious, emotional abusing of me while they held me hostage in my room, intent to rob me of the snuff film evidence that the SDPD told me to hold on to. You have seen me targeted in premeditation for a cover-up and victim-blaming scam, where you saw me be abducted, as to be called crazy and falsely imprisoned by the SDPD employees who are affiliated to Joseph Kony's creators and affiliated to Kony's slave-making camp that sought to create over 25,000 child slaves taken for rape for profit and child slaves taken for guerrilla soldier warfare murders. These SDPD employees were trying to facilitate doing a patent on me, like what this crime ring of home conversion scam artists did to Sharon Stevens when she reported crimes that she witnessed. Patent is a 5-year hold usually, which leads me to a stalker of mine named Rod Smith of the University of San Diego human trafficking ring. You remember months ago in this stalker blog when I told you the threat that Rod Smith of USD began to spew out at me about how in 5 years I will admit to this entire thing just being some mental illness of mine, and that by saying such is how my family will stay safe. Yes, that's the deal that Rod Smith tried to cut with me. And when I refused to cut this deal with the devil, my brother was quickly targeted. Then my father was targeted more than usual and has now passed away. And so I finally understand why the founder of Invisible Children cut that deal to just explain away the drugging and videotaping targeting of him, as if it were all just some mental illness lapse of his. Yes, now I understand why Jason Russell took that deal, as this is the deal that was presented to me by Rod Smith of the USD platform of human traffickers, and not taking that screwy deal has led this IHT ring to take revenge on my family. A family that has been traumatized by having 2 notorious childhood murderers placed living with me in 2011. Do you know how rare childhood murderers are? Do you know that they don't just wander around the planet unmonitored when they become adults? No. And yes, it took the Jesuits' rape for profit ring, and it took Bill Gore's IHT ring that he established during his West Coast FBI director days to pull off that Charlotte Owino, James Shelton, Seattle Pacific Auto Miller Hall, Spay War game that was marking me to be its blame taker. And they did make good on their plan after I had left. So this is a calling to Protection of San Diego, whose IHTs just tried to formally call me crazy in a scam of theirs where they only resulted in outing themselves, while leading a scent right back to their use of San Diego for their 9/11 terroristing days. Clearly this ring is still looking for their crazy blame taker and think me to be as good a target as ever before, and it has outed them clear as day. Yes, Anti-Stalker Nation, you have had good reason to be concerned after witnessing so much ugliness be thrown upon me. So I want to see you, and I want you to see me, that I want you to see that I'm still here because of your love. You have read me state in my blog that I have received the seal of God. Such a profound thing for anyone to say, let alone experience. what my critics must be thinking, what my enemies must be saying. But it was too profound to keep it from you, Anti-Stalker Nation, and so now everyone knows, and some lines have been drawn against me due to this unforeseen transformation of this very spiritual journey that I give to you, with great hope and with humility. As you have seen in the video attacks of me, how low a slave and target of this IHT ring is forced to live, dwell, and suffer in. Yes, you saw and heard the way a victim of this ring is made to live in squalor, with finances micromanaged, and all attempts for betterment made targeted and exploited. All which look very and significantly different from what actual mental illness looks like across America. Yes, actual mental illness looks very different than slave trade. But if this were all just mental illness, what a statement even then, right? I mean, is this the way we treat the mentally ill in America? Well, then no wonder there is such a push to call so many people crazy. Look how badly you could treat them and exploit them and use them and terrorize them, and how bad you could just treat them and never be held accountable for it. And still, even now, this ring of IHTs are cyber-stalking my attempts to earn and to have the security and financial stability that normal roommates would bring me. And of course, this ring is still targeting my car and education, but this game they seek to repetitively make out of my life is now sealed against them. Yes, Anti-Stalker Nation, you have had good reason to be worried for me, and I appreciate all of your concern, prayer, hard work, and love. I appreciate you. So I want to show you in the flesh that I have survived and that all your prayer has worked. So here I am. I am Jessica Seymour. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being amazing, Anti-Stalker Nation. Here I am, and I see a monumental 2015. I see that this ring of IHTs is not quite ready to stop trying to finish their intended SDP San Diego attack that they originally tried to make in early 2010. And I see that Bonnie DeMonis is of the same rape-for-profit ring that Bill Cosby hails from, via their same time at the same university they both graduated from. And it is likely that all the universities that have had Cosby on their board of directors have likely been engaged in the research method of human trafficking for a very long time now. Both Cosby and DeMonis have had their careers rise up by the same group of powerful human traffickers, and the revelations that Bill Cosby even had taxi cabs that would be waiting outside to take the drugged victims home immediately after the premeditated assault was gained reminds me all too much of that Hindu eye doctor that targeted me downtown at a place that he is a regular at, but where no one will give his name over. How protected he is in his druggings and abductions that he makes with a woman who's from Mexico, of the same IHT ring that gets money cleaned on into Bonnie DeMonis' campaign funds. So because of you, Anti-Stalker Nation, I made it through that horrible ordeal, and you have now witnessed, almost in real time, just a small bit of what it is like when IHTs think of you for their slave trade. You see a little of what it is like as a modern-day slave in America, and you see that this ring of IHTs is still plotting and conspiring in San Diego. And so I dedicate this blog post to you, the Anti-Stalker Nation, to show you personally that because of you, I am still alive, and that you are beautiful. To quote the angels, I see this road begin to climb, and Anti-Stalker Nation, I see your stars begin to shine, and I see your colors, and all I know is that I love you so.